After I invested $500,000 into my own son's company, I didn't expect gratitude forever. But I also didn't expect a text message to tell me I no longer belong. It didn't arrive dramatically. No warning. No buildup. Just a vibration on my phone, sitting quietly beside a cup of coffee that had already gone cold. The message said, "You're not invited. My business partner doesn't like you." That was it. No explanation, no apology, no conversation. In that moment, I realized something that took me years to understand. I hadn't lost money. I hadn't lost influence. I had lost my place. And instead of responding the way I had my entire life, gently, patiently, forgivingly, I did something different. I called my lawyer. 2 hours later, I had 55 missed calls, and nothing in our relationship was ever the same again. Before that message, I was the kind of mother people praise, but rarely protect. The dependable one, the quiet one, the one who shows up without being asked and leaves without being thanked. I worked most of my adult life, long hours, safe choices, delayed dreams. Not because I love sacrifice, but because I believe stability was love. Every extra dollar I saved had a purpose. Not for vacations, not for luxury. For my child. So when my son came to me with a business idea, he didn't come empty-handed. He came with plans, with numbers, with confidence that felt earned, not borrowed. He told me he had a chance to build something real, something scalable, something that could change his future. And then he said something that mothers are uniquely vulnerable to hearing. I just need one person to believe in me. I didn't ask for guarantees. I didn't ask for control. I asked one question. Do you believe in this? He said yes without hesitation. That was all it took. $500,000 doesn't leave your account quietly. It carries weight, history, years of discipline. It represented nights I worked instead of rested, vacations I skipped, security I delayed, but I didn't frame it as loss. I framed it as belief. We did everything properly. Lawyers reviewed documents. Contracts were signed. Ownership percentages were clear. I wasn't gifting the money. I was investing. I owned a significant share. I had voting rights. I had a seat at the table. Or so I thought. At first, everything felt right. Regular updates. Weekly conversations. Shared excitement. Then success arrived. And success has a way of changing rooms before it changes people. New investors appeared. Media attention followed. And then came the business partner. He was polite, professional, impressive. He shook my hand firmly the first time we met, smiled briefly, and then rarely spoke to me again. At first, I dismissed the discomfort. I told myself this was just business culture, that I was overthinking, but small things began to add up. Meeting times shifted without notice. Emails no longer included my name. Decisions were made before I even knew there was a discussion. When I asked questions, the answers were short, efficient, closed. I wasn't excluded aggressively. I was excluded quietly. And that is always more dangerous. Because silence convinces you to doubt yourself. I told myself not to interfere, not to embarrass my son, not to become that parent. So I stayed quiet. And silence, I learned, is often mistaken for permission. Then the company planned a major celebration, a milestone event, investors, press. I waited for the invitation. It never came. Instead, my phone buzzed. You're not invited. My business partner doesn't like you. It would be awkward. Awkward. After $500,000. After years of trust, I read the message again and again. Not because I didn't understand it, but because I needed to be sure it was real. My hands didn't shake. My heart didn't race. What I felt was clarity. This wasn't about feelings anymore. It was about boundaries. I didn't reply. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I opened my contacts and called my lawyer. I said, Calmly, I need you to review my contracts today. 2 hours later, he called me back. You still own 35%, he said. You still have voting rights, and they cannot legally exclude you. Then he paused. Do you want to enforce them? That question sat between us longer than it should have, because enforcing rights often feels like betrayal when you're a mother. But silence had already betrayed me. I said yes. That evening, formal notices were sent. Board access was requested. Financial disclosures were demanded. No accusations. No emotional language. Just law. That night, my phone started ringing. My son. The partner. Numbers I didn't recognize. Voicemails piled up quickly. Confusion turned into urgency. Urgency turned into panic. I didn't answer a single call because boundaries don't negotiate. The next morning, I walked into the boardroom I was never invited to. I wasn't angry. I wasn't nervous. I was prepared. My lawyer spoke first. Calm, precise. By the time he finished, the room felt different. The partner wouldn't meet my eyes. My son looked like someone seeing consequences for the first time. They were given a choice: respect my role and my rights, or buy me out fairly. On my terms. They chose the buyout. The numbers were reviewed. The valuation adjusted. Interest included. I didn't celebrate. I didn't smile. I signed the papers, stood up, and walked out with my dignity intact. Later, my son tried to apologize. I listened. Then I said something I should have said years earlier. I love you, but I will never make myself small again. Some relationships survive boundaries, some don't, and that is the price of self-respect. If you've ever been pushed aside after giving everything, remember this. You don't need to raise your voice to reclaim your power. Sometimes all it takes is one phone call and the courage to choose yourself.